Arriving at the pitch, the Brazilian national squad carries a unique, suffocating pressure. As the tournament favorites, anything less than a clean march to the round of 16 is considered a failure. Look at the lineup standing on the grass. You have a starting 11 composed entirely of global superstars, individuals who command top billing in the world's most elite professional leagues. Across from them stands Japan. They do not field the same volume of marquee names, but they operate with a rigid, highly disciplined tactical structure, the exact profile of an underdog highly capable of punishing a complacent giant. When a heavy favorite faces a perfectly organized opponent, the contest shifts away from pure tactics. The real battle becomes psychological, creating an environment primed for sudden disruption. That disruption hits violently in the midfield. Japan aggressively collapses on the ball, strips possession from the Brazilians, and instantly shatters their pre-planned rhythm. The transition is immediate. Kaishu Sano, wearing the number 6, takes the stolen ball and drives hard against a Brazilian defense caught completely out of position. Sano exploits the retreating line and fires a shot deep into the net, securing his first international goal and putting Japan on the board. Inside the stadium, the atmosphere fractures. Hands go up in the Japanese sections, and the very real possibility of a massive tournament upset takes hold in the stands. That single strike upends the match's internal logic. Brazil, who arrived to dictate terms, now finds itself in a frantic race just to keep its tournament alive. Pressing their advantage, Japan launches another wave of attack, pushing a panicked Brazilian side to the absolute edge of elimination. The threat manifests as a deep cross, hit sharply back across the Brazilian penalty box, a high danger zone where defensive formations typically break apart. Look closely at this sequence. In the resulting chaos, the ball slips past the keeper and hovers directly over the white goal line. Amazingly, a desperate clearance connects. The entire circumference of the ball never crosses the plane, keeping Brazil from falling into a catastrophic 2-goal deficit. Escaping a blow this lethal creates an immediate psychological reset. The relief of being spared transforms into a sudden, aggressive burst of offensive energy. Almost instantly after clearing the goal line, Brazil aggressively accelerates the tempo, taking the ball straight at the Japanese formation. That aggression pays off in the midfield. Casemiro steps into the fray, uses his physical leverage, and thumps in the crucial equalizer. With the score level, the desperation vanishes. Brazil tightens their passing lanes and begins executing a sustained, highly calculated offensive press. This confidence materializes through Vinicius Jr, who begins isolating defenders and deploying his individual technical flair. In a sharp display of footwork, Vinicius squares up defender Takahiro Tomiyasu and cleanly threads the ball right between his legs. He immediately fires a shot that beats the keeper, but rattles hard off the inside of the post, a clear signal that the Brazilian attack is firing on all cylinders. Between Casemiro's stabilizing physical presence and Vinicius's relentless baseline attacks, Japan's earlier rhythm is broken, forcing them into a purely reactive, defensive shell. But individual flair rarely breaks a team that has committed all 11 men behind the ball. To dismantle an entrenched defense, a team must rely on cold, calculating precision. That precision comes from Bruno Guimaraes. Holding the ball near the center circle, he scans the packed Japanese lines, searching for a positional error. This animated map shows what he saw. Guimaraes identifies a momentary gap between defenders and threads a geometrically perfect pass right through the seam. As the ball travels, Gabriel Martinelli perfectly times his sprint, an advancing vector, to intercept the heavily weighted pass without breaking stride. Martinelli collects the ball in stride and cleanly finishes the play, securing the lead and completing the comeback for Brazil. There was no luck involved in this final sequence. It was the mathematical result of relentless offensive pressure, forcing a tired defense to leave one fatal passing lane open. The final whistle blows. Brazil secures their victory and officially punches their ticket to the round of 16. In the stands, the tension breaks. The Brazilian fans are celebrating with the intensity of people who have just been pulled back from the edge, their place in the tournament hierarchy secured. The match unfolded in 3 distinct movements: a shocking disruption from the underdog, a frantic survival on the line, and a clinical assertion of dominance. Advancing deep into a World Cup requires an undeniable amount of star power. But surviving the earliest tests requires the psychological resilience to absorb a nearly fatal blow, steady the nerves, and systematically dismantle the opposition.